So today, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to go ahead and pick out all of the parts on the little parts shelf that I put together last week that are going to need to be sandblasted. So what I want to do is I kind of want to do everything in one big bulk job. So if I have everything sandblasted and primed, that's going to get painted black. Then I'll just take 1 or 2 hours and I'll get all that stuff painted black and it'll be done quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and pick through what's on the shelf that we're going to start sandblasting, and then we'll get the sandblaster set up and we'll start blasting paint off of metal parts. Let's get to work. Okay, so let's grab all the black steel parts that we're going to want to sandblast and get ready for paint. I'm definitely going to redo the bars. We're going to have to pull the controls off them. I'll just toss them on the bench for now. So we're just looking at stuff we're going to do black first. Like I'm going to do certain things like the chain guard, like the motor cases and whatnot. But for now, I'm just going to focus on black pieces. And mainly pieces we don't have to disassemble too much. Like this is probably going to be a bit of a project on its own. So I'll focus on this. That's the front light assembly with your where your speedometer and your neutral light and whatnot go. But yeah, taking this apart and fixing this up is going to be a video in and of itself. So we'll leave this for now. We should look at stuff like kickstand. I've got a couple rear brake levers. I'll pick the best one. We'll do that one. Stuff like that. So continuing on. Okay, that should be it for the parts we're going to be sandblasting today. So I'm going to get the sandblaster set up and we'll get started. So before I get into getting the sandblaster and stuff ready, we probably want to get some of these parts disassembled. So I'm just going to go over and grab a few, probably start with the bars. There's a motor mount, the triple tree, stuff like that. We're going to break that stuff down. Get it put into bags. It's always good to use Ziploc bags that you can write what the parts belong to, put all your hardware in your stuff. That way you keep things organized when you go to put it back together. You know where everything is. So I'm going to run over and grab some stuff, bring it back to the bench, and we're going to start taking stuff apart. Okay, so here's our bars. Here's our motor mount, one of them. And here's our kickstand. Let's start getting stuff taken apart. I don't want to leave this rubber in for sandblasting because the sandblaster will tear it up on us. So I'm going to pop that out. I'm infamous for dropping stuff. I'm going to have to search for that. There's another. I dropped off the kickstand in under my generator. I just remembered. It's a good thing I did because I would have left it there forever. Okay, next let's have a look at the handlebars, see if those apart. So on this one the kill switch has been cut off. This is a spare set of bars. The bars that came on the bike, the cross member was actually broken off. But on these bars you can see someone's after cutting the cable on the kill switch. It's also really stuck. Now I'll probably take it apart and get it working again, but it's not a priority right now. So I just want to get, like, you can see, like, they cut the brake cables and that's the switch for the brake lights. They cut everything off. Either way, let's get it apart. That does not want to come apart. Okay, let's hit it with some impact. So I managed to get one of these to start loosening up by putting a beating on it. So I'm gonna do the same thing now with the other one. See if I can't get them both. This one is pretty stripped out though, but we'll see how it goes. I'll pound it in. If I have to, I'll slot it and use a flathead on it. There we go, got it, nice. I might just clamp this in the vise and give it a real good twist and see if I can get that to come off. So there's our throttle cable assembly, taken apart. This is going to take a bit of time, so instead of boring you guys with the rest of the assembly of these parts, I'll just get them disassembled, lay them out on the bench, then we'll do a quick recap on what we're sandblasting, then we'll fire up the sandblaster. So I've got the burrs, stuff taken off the burrs. I went and double checked, and all of these things here that are pretty much non-functional, this is functional, but so like the kill switch, the control cluster, the throttle, the throttle assembly, the bars. These are all extras, so I'm going to put these just in a container that says extras on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all the hardware out of it in a bag with the handlebars, just so I know where that hardware is. So a couple other pieces and we'll get ready for sandblasting. Okay, so now that we've got the hardware out of our pegs, our brake pedal, handlebars, our muffler guards or the heat shields for a muffler, chain guide-ish type thing, our kickstand, the motor mount, and our triple tree. I'm going to go ahead and get the compressor hooked up to the sandblaster. I'll try to get the light on that again so we can see if we can see what we're doing there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start cleaning up our parts. So I've got the sandblaster cleaned up. It's nice and clear looking right now. I don't have a light inside, but I've just got a work light laid on top shining in, and it looks like it's pretty good. So I'm going to start with just the top part of the triple tree. So I'll do that one live, then we'll pull it out and have a look. So it's that part and the two clamp pieces for the top, and then for the rest of them we'll just fast forward through that, because once the compressor kicks in it's going to get pretty loud in here. So I think you should be able to see how clean that part is. I'll pull it out and we'll have a quick look. I'm gonna bump you there. You're pretty close to the tripod there. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Either way. So here we go. So with our sandblaster, it's actually a dimple. I thought it was a piece of paint, but it's a dimple in the cast aluminum or the sintered aluminum. So we're gonna do this with the rest of our parts. Then we can go ahead and hit them with some etching primer. Here we go, fast forward time. I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to stop the camera. I'll bring it back when I get all the parts cleaned up. So after some time spent sandblasting, this is what we've got. So you can see we've got our muffler, heat guards there, the bars, chain guide, pegs, brake pedal, mount, kickstand, and then our triple tree all cleaned up. So there's a bit of dust on them now, so I'm going to give them a bit of a shot to clean them off, and then I'll get them hung up and we'll hit them with some etching primer. Now there were a couple spots in the bars that I couldn't get at because of their length and the access I had with the hose and the sandblaster, so I'm just going to quickly hit those with the wire wheel on the ends, and then I'll hit them with some etching primer. So I've got the parts hung up in the corner. I'm going to go ahead and give them a quick wipe off with some acetone, and then we'll go ahead and get them painted with, or get them primed with some etching primer. Top of the triple tree is kind of, I'm not sure if some of the dust stuck to it or whatever, but I'm going to hit it with some brake clean just to get that stuff off. Once that stuff has had a chance to flash off, I'll go ahead and separate the parts out again. We'll hit them with some etching primer. Okay, so we're going to have extra support there with one of my jacks. Put the handle under the terminal line there. So I'm going to hit all this with some etching primer, and we'll leave that overnight, and then we should be ready to hit these things with some laser gloss black. So there we go. We'll let those dry, and then we'll pick it up with some black paint. So it's the next day. The etching primer is done drying, so I'm going to hit this stuff with a very light coat first off, give that some time to dry, and then go back over with a couple more heavier coats to get a good solid coat of paint on these parts. And then in between coats, we've got something else fun to work on in relation to the ATC70 that I just recently finished. Okay, I'm content with that for coat one. We'll go ahead and give that some time to dry. I kind of went a bit thicker than I thought I was going to originally, but you know, it'll work out. So give this some time to dry, and we'll come back and hit it with a second coat. Okay, so that first coat should be good enough now that we're ready to put on our next coat. So here we go, coat 2. So we've got our second coat of paint done. Heat's on the grads. We'll leave it on for a few hours, let things dry up here paint-wise. And then in the next one, we should be ready to take our frame and our swing arm down, get those lightly sanded, and get a few coats of this gloss black paint on those as well. Once again, guys, thanks for watching.